Second Cup is brought to you by Roswell Park Comprehensive Care Center.
Hi, everyone. Good morning. It's 8 o'clock on the start of your Tuesday. Glad you're with us with our dear friend Emily Monshine from Gigi's Playhouse.
Emily, welcome. It's always so nice to see you.
I know. I was just
We're catching up ahead.
Emily came in. I rushed in here like Hurricane Ed. And I'm like, hi, Emily. Oh, my God. Good morning. And we gave her a big hug. I go, Emily, you're so pretty. And she always smells so good.
She is pretty.
She's
She's
so
like,
nice.
I'm never going back there. They're so weird.
I know.
That's the only reason I come here.
Well, we're so glad you're with us.
They talked about how I smelled again.
What perfume do you wear, Emily?
This one is called Naughty Amber.
Ooh.
Oh,
Yeah.
Well, we like it.
We're so glad you're with us.
Welcome to
talking
Second
about
Cup. Yes.
World Down Syndrome Awareness Month. And, we were just talking. I mean, this is a very interesting, I would almost call it precarious time in the world of disabilities. When you consider, like, okay, the government shutdown could potentially affect so many people when it comes to healthcare. Two,
The healthcare is a huge sticking point here.
Yeah.
And that's, basically the tilting here.
Well, and then funding could feasibly run out, right? I mean, that's a big problem.
Big problem. Yeah.
So what's going on here?
Well, our community definitely depends on Medicaid as a secondary insurance, and also, self-directed is a home and community-based service. It's a part of the waiver program, and this is what allows our community to have job coaches and to be, integrated and have inclusive opportunities. And if that's gone, we're in trouble.
So how do you prepare for this? How do you make it through something like this? I mean, you've got services to provide for so many people.
How much of Gigi's is based in that?
I will say the interesting thing about Gigi's Playhouse is that our programs are free.
Great.
So we will be not impacted in a sense that financially, but because our programs are free, we greatly depend on grants and funders, volunteers. And what we've noticed is that all those things are really sort of disappearing. Funding's getting harder to get, volunteers are becoming more scarce. So we're sort of being hit on that end of it all. But, I anticipate us sort of really needing to support everyone when the time comes, when other things are closing. We're going to really have to be creative and figure out how to expand.
Mm-hmm. I wonder, would you be able just to walk people through what Gigi's Playhouse actually is, what you guys do? Because I think, if you're watching Second Cup, you've heard from Emily before. We're so happy to share her voice. But it's a great service in our community.
Yeah, it's wonderful. So Gigi's Playhouse, it's a Down Syndrome Achievement Center, and we provide free programs for individuals with Down syndrome from birth through adulthood. We also include the siblings. We support the family members. We provide resources. Our programs are educational, we have one-on-one literacy, speech and math, and a typical speech session these days to get is $80 to $100 per session. So ours are free, delivered by the UB Speech and Language Disorders Clinic, really high quality services we roll out for the community. We have exercise classes, we have cooking classes, then we have events, parties. And then, outside of Gigi's, sometimes people come to me and they're like, I'm so sorry, I haven't been to Gigi's in forever. And I always say we're more than just a building where programs are. We impact legislation. We support students in the school system. We are out with the media and the community, just spreading awareness about Down syndrome. So it's so much more than just a brick and mortar thing. But yeah, it's a really special, beautiful place where we celebrate Down syndrome.
I love that.
So because of what you do, there is a lot of, and you mentioned, the grants are getting more difficult to come by, but there is that federal funding component.
Mm-hmm.
And right now, what's the concern there for you? What would that mean to Gigi's?
Well, our worry is always that our state funds will be impacted by the lack of federal funds. So, we do receive some funding at the state level.
Mm-hmm.
So at the moment, I've been, assured that this year we are okay, but we don't really know. It's that kind of a game. At the next moment, everything could change.
And then you mentioned too, on a day-to-day basis, people who get Medicaid are kind of just waiting to see how that plays out.
That's a whole nother thing too. That's our newest piece of legislation that I'm working on is this automatic eligibility piece for infants and children with Down syndrome. Right now, if you have a child with Down syndrome, you can't get Medicaid. Is virtually impossible to get. People are really struggling, and they're sort of shuffling these kiddos off to early intervention, saying, well, you have early intervention, but Early intervention is a service that provides therapy for families, but it doesn't provide a secondary health insurance. And people with Down syndrome, I mean, 50 to 60% are born with major heart defects and need heart surgery. So, you know, you have a situation where pregnant women are saying, how am I going to afford my baby if I can't get Medicaid? So we're really, that's a new piece of legislation that we're working on addressing.
And that's state legislation.
It would be state legislation, yeah, New York State.
And what's the viability of that? I mean, do we expect that to go through in the next budget, or is that something that, what's your conversations been?
So you have to get eligibility through OPWDD before you can then get the Medicaid. The Office for People with Developmental Disabilities is what OPWDD is. And there's a certain eligibility criteria that's really challenging for newborns and young babies to pass, such as an IQ test, such as a developmental test, such as there's all these hoops that you have to jump through. So you might have Down syndrome, you have the karyotype, you have the paperwork, and you know you are going to need these supports because you have Down syndrome, but then you have to prove X, Y, and Z. And then you get these supports. So
it's just not designed for that age group to be able to do that.
So it's virtually impossible. And there's an interesting, the federal law actually has a caveat where infants and children can be eligible if they have a significant enough disability. They can be waived. But New York State doesn't have that piece to their eligibility requirements. So that's kind of what we're hoping might be added.
Bridging the gap.
Yeah, to connect those.
And why not just make it an automatic qualifier for people with babies?
I mean, that makes a ton of sense. It's kind of like a no-brainer.
Yeah. And then at 3, test it and see, you know, when they can actually take a developmental test. And if they are like scoring off the charts, then remove Medicaid. But not, you know, I wouldn't expect that with Down syndrome.
A good question from Anita, wondering about, because you mentioned volunteers. Do you need volunteers? And what can volunteers do if they want to get
we always need volunteers at Gigi's Playhouse. We have a really robust adult programming that is happening weekdays, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, like 12 to 4. So we do a really basic training. We make sure the volunteer is comfortable, and then we bring them in to sort of work in that area that it's a little bit of what we need, but also what they're interested in. Like somebody might say, I want to be a literacy tutor, but right now we're in the middle of literacy, but literacy will open again in May. So, you know, we have a newsletter that goes out. I would suggest you go to gigisplayhouse.org/Buffalo, and then there's a volunteer tab. You just click on that and it comes right to us. We can get you onboarded, let you know the opportunities that are available, and then we go from there.
Jordan will put a link in the comments, Anita, gigisplayhouse.com.
gigisplayhouse.org/Buffalo. Yep.
Okay.
And the thing too, I feel like, because we've worked together on a bunch of different stories, I feel like too, if somebody came to you and had, you know, some vast experience in X, Y, and Z as a volunteer, you guys kind of find a way to make that work within your programming, because you want, if you said, hey, I'm really interested in, let's say, like you mentioned, cooking maybe, or I do this or this, like there's a place for the skills that somebody who's a volunteer has to help out.
In multiple ways. Cooking, you can do the adult cooking class. You can do the kids cooking class. You can do the daytime adult programming where we have cooking. You can help with an event where we have, you know, there's always different ways to funnel that ability, that talent.
Speaking of events, you guys have a big one coming up. It's the Christmas celebration.
Yeah, so
which is the first
we're
one,
talking
right?
about,
this is our second one.
Oh, the second, okay.
Yeah.
And we're talking about Christmas already. Here
I
we
know.
are, mid-October.
It's
just like getting closer and closer.
October already.
Yeah, well, that's kind of what we said. Like, it's this argument always. Can you put your trees up? Can you decorate in November? Do you have to wait till December? And there's always like the two crowds so we said, like, let's be aggressive and address this, and let's claim the very first one, you know? So it's November 1st, the day after Halloween. And it's our second annual Gigi's first holiday party of the year. So we roll out the good fun times. You know, we have the Christmas music, Santa Claus, all the trees. The place is going to be decked out. It's at the Atrium, Rich's downtown.
Niagara Street.
Yep. So yes, if you want to come to the event or if you want to donate, we have sponsorship options. So many ways you can help. And that's also gigisplayhouse.org/Buffalo. And then the event tab is on our main page.
What happens at the event?
Yes.
Tell me everything.
Yeah. So the event is, you know, there's baskets, there's silent auction items, there's a full course dinner, there's open bar, there's a DJ.
Speaking my language.
Holiday booth, photo fun.
Holiday booth.
Yeah, me too.
There is holiday booth.
Okay.
We'll have 4 signature holiday craft cocktails.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, it is so much fun.
Okay, where do we get information for that?
Yeah, so you will go to the website, gigisplayhouse.org/Buffalo, and then there's a tab on the front page, and it's just the holiday party. You just click on it, takes you right to We need sponsorships, right? Because as I was saying before, we have all these free programs, and this is one of our 2 major events of the year. So we greatly depend on the generosity of the community for this one. So if you know somebody who owns a business, if you own a business, we have sponsorship opportunities available still. We're taking gift cards, gift baskets.
Yes. $25 is what you're asking for in terms of a gift card donation.
Yep.
So any restaurant or any business?
Anything. Yeah.
Wow, okay.
We'll have like stockings hung up by the fireplace, and you pay your $20, you pick your stocking, and you're guaranteed a $20 or higher gift card. So
I love that.
But you might walk away with $100, you know? It's that kind of game. And we're doing the same thing with a wine pull, $20, but you might end up with the $500 wine bottle. Yeah.
That's worth it.
It is.
That's exciting.
I'll take 10.
Seriously.
$5,000 later.
I do love wine.
Yeah.
Peter wants to know,
Yes.
do those who attend Gigi's attend public schools? Because he's read some essays on disability in schools and interested in learning more.
Oh, yeah. So people with disabilities, with Down syndrome, do attend public schools. Inclusion is a super important piece for people with Down syndrome. They're very visual, very social learners. So best practices are that they are included in their general education classroom.
Mm-hmm.
However, that is quite rare. So it is another area that we really work hard. Schools don't really teach about Down syndrome.
Right.
College students don't learn about it specifically as a disability. So our teachers are flying blind a little bit. So that's where Gigi's Playhouse comes in. That's where I come in. I'm always happy to help support school districts to get a child included in the classroom. Office of Special Education just really fired everybody. So that is everything.
Well, thank goodness we have a service like Gigi's
Right.
Playhouse here and an advocate like you,
Mhm.
Emily. And
Yeah.
you're doing such great work. And it's so important. Yeah, exactly.
It's not
Anita.
Easy. It's not easy work that you're doing either.
No.
It's a lot of paperwork. It's a lot, there's
Cutting
so
through the red tape.
Right.
I have a strong little co-worker named
Mhm.
Julia, and she's my right-hand man, and she, helps with all the back end stuff, with the newsletters, with the marketing. I have volunteers that help with that as well. She's our program coordinator. So we are a small but fierce team. And sometimes that's more effective, when you have one person you can really get the job done with. And then we have, our speech pathologist is paid for. We have other positions, but
Sure.
yeah.
It's interesting because I'm on the board of directors for GLIS, which is
Yes.
the Gay and Lesbian Youth Organization of Western New York. Great organization, providing support for so many of our LGBTQ youth. And when we talk about a small but mighty team, you're right. I mean, we have a paid staff and we're fortunate to do so. But there are so many things that need to be done and so many more people that we could use, right? Whether it's a volunteer or a staff member.
Big time.
And you're right. I mean, when you're cutting through all of that red tape and you're helping a segment of a population, there is so much work to be done. So what do we need to know when it comes to World Down Syndrome Awareness Month? Here we are in October. What is the one thing we should keep in mind?
Well, I think we're beyond awareness with Down syndrome.
Right.
I think we need to call it acceptance. And I think we need to keep in mind that, I think unless you're really immersed in it and you're really exposed to it, you can't really understand it. And then you have a hard time accepting it. So truly, these opportunities, if you're a teacher, consider including a person with Down syndrome in your classroom. If you're an employer, really, really look into that. If that person comes looking for a job, really open your doors and expand your mind. If you have, someone on your bus who has Down syndrome, just go out of your way. Down syndrome can be a visible diagnosis, and it's a diagnosis you can hear. And I think that there's an automatic judgment. So I would say never judge with these individuals. They have so much receptive knowledge in their minds that sometimes doesn't always come out. So know that, and be open and be accepting and be inclusive.
Yeah. Kim's saying they have blended classrooms now for children who need help and children who do not. So the ones with disabilities are not singled out, and the teachers try to help in so many places. Yeah. I'm sure there are so many different experiences that you've heard of.
So many.
You deal with parents on a day-to-day basis. So, it's different everywhere you go. Anita says Down syndrome, another way of life for those. And it seems like she's really interested in volunteering too. She's already said she's going to, go out to the website and check it out.
Oh, great. We'd love to have you.
Yeah.
As we wrap up here, Emily, maybe you walk us through your story. What is your connection here to Down syndrome? Because I feel like there's, we talk about the services that you offer, but there's a bigger purpose behind this for you.
Yes. So, what are we here? Probably 11 years ago, I got a prenatal diagnosis that my baby would be born with Down syndrome. And it was a really hard time. I wasn't really, I was told all the bad things that might happen with Down syndrome during my pregnancy. And it was just really dark. And then I had him, and he was just the light of my life. And it really just changed everything, about my outlook and how I perceived things. And even like how sad I was when I got my diagnosis. Like, why, because I had no exposure to Down syndrome. So I was an educator, but I decided I really wanted to work on locally for the sake of my little guy, Paulie. And then later, as I really got to know such an amazing community for the sake of all of these people, they're such an amazing group of people. I really wanted to change. I wanted to get services that weren't available, really break down perceptions of disability. So yeah, I sort of flipped the script, and my husband and I worked to bring a Gigi's Playhouse to Western New York. And
because it's a national organization.
Yeah, there's 62 across the United States, and it's also international, and there's a virtual entity. So it's a really huge thing, which is exciting. And I'm so excited to be a part of it.
And we were just saying, your little guy going to be going into middle school.
Oh, God. When did this happen?
I mean, I don't even know. And he is like, by nature, people with Down syndrome tend to be tiny. So he's so tiny, and I'm like, buddy, I can't go to middle school.
Know.
Listen, good things come in small packages.
That's true.
Anita says, I'm so sorry that such a dark picture is painted for you. It's such a joyous time, but I'm happy that you flipped the script. And we are
Thank
too,
you.
Emily. We're so proud of you. We're so lucky
Thank
to have you in
you.
our community. And, by kind of taking your background as an educator and then transforming that and translating it into something that can really help shape and change a community goes such a long way.
Thank you.
So in ways that you can help out, go to the website. You can check out the volunteering aspect too. But then the first Christmas party of the year is coming up, and it's really coming up quickly, only a couple weeks away now.
Yeah, we're close.
Okay.
Give us the date and time one more time.
November 1st, 6 to 10 at the Atrium at Riches.
Okay. So if there are ways that you can donate gift certificates or be a sponsor, you're still looking for sponsors, or you want to go to the party.
Yes.
I mean, it
Come
sounds like
out,
a blast.
have fun.
The party, yeah.
Briefly, the cost for the party, the cost for a ticket?
$175 per
Very
ticket.
good.
Yep.
Okay. More information available, gigisplayhouse.org/Buffalo.
Good job.
Thank you very much.
Good job,
I'm a very
Edward.
good listener.
He's been up for a
Yes, you
while.
are.
Thank you, Emily. We love
so
having
much.
you.
Great
I
to
love
see
being
you.
here.
Oh, we
Thanks,
love
guys.
having you. You're, again, just the greatest,
thanks,
the best,
Ed.
the most beautiful.
Oh,
We just love you.
stop it.
Emily, thanks again. We appreciate you. Hope you have a great rest of your day. Good luck in the fundraiser, and
Thank you.
keep in touch, okay?
Thanks. Yeah, I'll see you guys soon.
Good to see you.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Tell everybody we said hi.
Okay,
I will.
let's talk this morning about the winter. Emily mentions Christmas is coming.
Mhm.
You know what else is coming?
The cold.
The cold. And at the end of the day, we are expecting higher heating bills this year compared to last, and they are expensive.
So this is new info that just came in from National Fuel this morning. And it's giving you the average cost. Out of curiosity, and I don't know if the cuppies really can think of this off the top of their minds. Do you remember how much you paid per month last year? And it varies so much. It varies on the size of your house. Do you have a house? Do you have an apartment? Is your household? Is it, how energy efficient are you? Blah, 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 blah. Long story short, on average, people can expect to pay $135 per month this year. We did the math. It's up about $18 from
Per
last
month,
year.
right.
Per month from last year.
Okay, so $18, $20
Mhm.
on average
Mhm.
may not be the be all end all here, but in a time where so much is so much more expensive,
Right.
Another $20 for some people could mean a dinner for a family of 4 potentially if you're going to the grocery
Right.
store, or it could mean a tank of gas. It could mean so much more in a day and age where we are struggling to make ends meet. Look at what Paula has to say. Paula here says, my highest month last winter was $400. I kept my heat at 64 during the day and 62 at night.
Do you have an older home, Paula? Tell us how it got that high. Because I say this because I will still never forget. And if my girlfriend Bridget is watching right now, she will never forget. When we were younger, we had an old Buffalo apartment. It was 3 girls living together. We were like 24. We were probably keeping the heat at, I don't even know. And we had one roommate who was like,
oh my, you guys are nuts.
Well, we were young. We didn't know. And long story short, poor Bridget was the one who ended up opening the bill when the other 2 of us were gone and cried.
Did she really cry?
She'll tell you to this day that she cried because we were so young, and she was just like,
What
Oh
do
my
we do?
God. Oh my God.
Well, imagine now being a single mom in that instance.
Oh, I know. Because you
Or a
don't
single dad, whatever.
you don't realize sometimes.
Kim says if you're on balance billing, that helps. Anita
So-
says,
And that's what we ended up doing.
Sure.
Because again, being young, we didn't know a lot of this stuff yet.
well, so to Elizabeth's point too, budget billing is the same every month.
Right.
So the only thing that you're paying the same is in the summer that you would pay in the winter.
Okay. And Paula, see, she got a 1,200 square foot home. Built in
Wow.
1944, probably doesn't have a lick of insulation.
Well, and how many of us live in these old Buffalo
Right,
homes? Some of
right.
us, in doubles, right? And, for what it's worth, you got 1,600 square
I
feet
know.
of space
I know.
and no insulation. Sometimes there's like horsehair and newspaper in the walls.
Noreen's just saying, listen, the cost of living just in general is getting out of control. And we talk about this all the time. Like you and I talk about this. We sit there and we're like, okay, if this goes up, this goes up, this goes up. The money that people are bringing in is not going up.
Right.
In accordance with what everything else is.
So how do you
You have to stretch these dollars?
And I don't get it. I don't
Right.
understand where do you rob Peter to pay Paul?
right.
That was so Long
And it's
Island of me.
also like there's a part, and again, it's important to note, like not everything is going up. So okay, you can
Yes,
find
gas prices in some cases are going
gas
down.
prices are going up, right? So you can find those areas. But at the same time, what I think is a lot of the things that people do pay for, like, okay, yes, we all pay for gas and it's nice that that's going down. But does the amount that gas is going down make up for the amount that other things have gone up?
No.
I don't know,
I don't know.
It just makes it's almost not fair
Thank
because
you.
you're like, it's so, I don't know.
I'm glad that you said this, Aunt Linda, because I was going to, and I just don't want to get myself in trouble here. I walk around the grocery store when I go in shock with the prices. Bananas were the cheapest things in the world to buy at 42 cents a pound at Wegmans.
Mhm.
Now they went up to over 50,
Mhm.
which, it is what it is. It's,
Yeah, and they're so right. Yes, it is what it is. Have they gone up? Yes. Is it still cheap in the long run compared to other
Yes.
things? Yes.
But then you look at other things in the grocery store and you're right. I mean, yeah, they're necessary evils.
Yeah, and I think that it's maybe changed the way that you cook or shop or do things like that. Like, so I will still on occasion buy those little like rice things that you pop in the microwave just to have rice like done fast. But I have a big bag of it now, and I'm like, you know what? Why don't I just use the bag?
Right.
That costs a few dollars. And like it takes more, like you just have to think 10 minutes ahead.
Okay, wait. So, funny story.
What?
You know that for a little while I had to be on the brat diet.
Right.
I've had, not to get too
His
graphic
belly was
here,
bothering him.
and it still is. I mean, like I've had stomach issues for the last month.
Right.
And for
Bad belly.
I walked into the store thinking like, oh, I'll just get that like rice in a cup that I could throw in the microwave for a minute.
Yeah.
It'll be done
Right.
quick and easy.
Uh-huh.
Like, is my time worth the $4 that I paid for a 2-pack of rice?
Right. No.
Yes.
So now I've decided it's not. And that's the difference between you and me.
I know.
I used to buy those things all the time. And now I'm like, no, I'm not buying another one of them until I use this big bag of white rice that I bought for something. I don't know, jasmine rice or whatever it is.
Okay, so Mark has a really good point too. And I think this is probably the most important point that we can talk about here. It's the seniors and the people who are on a fixed income. If you rely on certain benefits, like there is now a trickle down effect, right?
Yeah.
Certain benefits are drying up. Certain benefits may not exist anymore as they used to.
Right.
We're seeing so many more people having to rely on Feed More Western New York. They're part of our community advisory board that we have here at Channel 7.
Right.
And we hear how the need is so great and has been for years, but there were opportunities for people, during COVID that dried up, that don't exist anymore.
Yeah.
And so it becomes a big issue, trying to get people the services, the food they need to survive.
Sherry's saying
Girl.
what I say.
I know.
So my mom always says it's cold at our house, but I'm like, here's a blanket. Because like we have the old house. And we have done some of the like insulation-y things, but this year I think I need to do the like window stuff, which
What, put
I
the-
have
the-
really not wanted to do because it's going to
the
be
shrink
so ugly.
Oh, it's disgusting. But I mean, like,
But I think I have to do it.
if
And
it
we-
helps, it helps.
I know. And it's just that you can feel the drafts sometimes. There's a couple places up in our attic too where like part of the attic is finished. So we have like the towels like shoved under the doors where like it's drafty in the attic-y part of it. And so like little things like that. Like it's not cute, but I think you have to do it.
My mom says we thank God every month that we can pay our bills. We're not struggling, but how do others deal with prices going up? Anita's saying that same thing. And seniors are such a tough spot right now. Housing, utilities, food, all going up, and a fixed income doesn't leave enough for medication,
right?
Which is going up too, she says.
Paula says those heavy insulated curtains help with the draft and hide the plastic.
Yeah, it's
and it's things like that. Like maybe it's worth investing in heavily insulated curtains. Do you know what I mean? Because then over the years, they'll pay off in the long run.
Look what Megan had to say. My pool was closed, my AC was off for a month, and my electric bill was still $120. Extremely high compared to last year's.
Well, because, okay, so when we talk about national fuel, like we're just talking your gas.
Right.
We are not talking your electric yet.
Which is also going up.
$135. Right. And we know, depending on who you have for electric, although it appears that most of them are going up, like we know there's already a set schedule for that to go up.
Elizabeth says, I've literally walked through my house with caulk to find the little drafts. And your mom saying that you guys actually used the shrink wrap on the.
She did, and my dad did. Yeah.
On their first house.
They still talk about it. Yeah.
Made a big difference. So maybe that's something to keep in mind. I mean, look, maybe that's something we have to do. Let's go find the solutions, right? Like the shrink wrap on the windows. Okay. What does that actually cost?
Kim says she's got them in all the rooms. So maybe I'm like, I'll look into it. We just had a lot of windows. And I think that's been my hesitation is like, we have a lot of windows. And I'm just like, oof.
Well, do you do all of them, or do you do the ones that you know are the most drafty?
Yeah. I don't know. I guess maybe you start somewhere.
Yeah. A couple of years ago, wasn't National Grid giving out those like kits that you could
winterizing kits?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Don't you remember getting those?
That? Yeah. And Kim also says water bills.
We've got to pause.
All right. Good morning, everyone. We're checking out traffic right now. Here's a view of the 90th 400. No problems through that merge area right now. Things have really thinned out. The last half hour, we had a lot of congestion, and now there are no problems on the main roads. We look outside. We have 54 degrees with mostly cloudy skies. Winds out of the northwest at just 3 miles per hour. So light winds and comfortable temperatures to start your day. 52 in Niagara Falls, 51 right now in Jamestown, 52 in Batavia, 54 in Dunkirk. Still some fog and some low cloud cover lingering, especially across the southern tier this morning. It is restaurant week. Great time to go check out some restaurants across the area. Around lunchtime, we're in the low 60s. Around dinner time, we're in the mid 60s. Pleasant with sunshine later on today. Here's the hour-by-hour forecast. Clouds around this morning will thin out. Sunshine expected this afternoon. Tonight, partly to mostly cloudy skies. A cold front's going to pass through, and that's going to usher in some cooler air for Wednesday and Thursday. Wednesday and Thursday afternoon, though, will be nice and sunny, but much, much cooler. Mid-60s today. We're talking mid-50s tomorrow and Thursday. And we head toward the weekend. Can't rule out a shower Friday night into very early Saturday, but most of Saturday will be dry and warm. Sunday, a different story. The next system moves in and expect some rainfall, especially Sunday afternoon, with those showers continuing into Monday. Your forecast for today, patchy morning fog and some cloud cover, followed by sunshine. Your high today, 67 degrees. Tonight, overnight lows in the mid-40s, partly to mostly cloudy and cooler this evening. Tomorrow, a high temperature around 55 degrees, morning clouds, followed by afternoon sunshine. Sunny on Thursday with highs in the mid-50s. Friday, partly cloudy, highs near 60. Could see some rain Friday night into early Saturday. We clear out Saturday afternoon. The high of 74 degrees. Rain showers return for Sunday and Monday.
I like how the shrink wrap has continued to be a big topic in the conversation here. And I also am interested in Anita's comment that it doesn't work with a big dog.
Yeah, how is that a thing?
I don't know. Well, so I'm wondering if she knows.
They just run to the window and tear it down.
So my thought is that big front window that I have where the dog sits, probably I don't do that one.
Yeah, but that's probably the most drafty.
I know. That's A, it's placement in the house, and B, it's placement.
That's frustrating.
Well,
Noreen, though, just bought it. So hopefully, Noreen, let us know how it works. And how much did you pay for it? Interesting.
Let me know how it goes on. I'm interested in seeing. Do you use, my parents said they used a blow dryer, I think.
Yeah, I think that's all you need in the shrink wrap. And like you kind of like stick it up there.
Maybe you could come over someday. We could crack open a bottle of wine and give this a shot.
You know I don't do these things. That's a Russ job. Thanks so much for being with us on a Tuesday.
What I meant was maybe Russ and you could come over someday. And Russ and Paul could do that. And we could crack open a bottle of wine.
Game on, girl.
And tell them how. You're doing it wrong.